So guys, what do you make of Ngizwe getting cornered by Nhlanhla Lux to succumb to the Sotos? You know guys, Nhlanhla Lux has convened a meeting with the Sotos where they declared a war. They stated that they were going to defend themselves against anyone who's going to attack them on the 30th of June, regardless of their immigration status. As the Sotos, these guys, they organize themselves, being led by Nhlanhla Lux, saying on the 30th of June, they are going to defend themselves against anyone who's going to attack them or attack their wives or their families. What do you make of these guys? Tell me, especially you supporters of this March and March, Ngizwe and Phakelumthakathi saga. What do you make of these guys, this meeting between the two? Let me unpack it for those that are, are not informed. You know, guys, last week, Nhlanhla Lux made a video to say he's going to defend Soweto, as he did during uprising. You know, guys, during uprising in 2021, July unrest, yeah, the so-called July unrest, when people were looting people's shops, destroying malls. Nhlanhla Lux, we saw him going to Maponya Mall to defend that mall from looters. So Nhlanhla Lux took to social media to say he made a video to say he's going to do the same. He's going to defend Soweto. No one is going to touch Soweto. They are grouping themselves. They are ready to defend themselves against infiltrators of a good cause on the 30th of June. So after that, he convened a meeting with the Sotos. They convened a community meeting with a station commander of that area in Soweto, where they declared as the Sotos that they will defend themselves against anyone who's going to attack them on the 30th of June. So this is what prompted Ngizwe to go and have a meeting with those guys from Lesotho and Nhlanhla Lux, where Ngizwe, we saw him guys embracing the Sotos, assuring them that they are part of South Africa. They are not foreigners. They are not a target. If anything, they must support and join this struggle against immigration. They are not a target. They are not foreigners. They are part of South Africa. He even alluded to our national anthem to say we do have a Sutu language in that anthem. You know, he also alluded to the fact that we do have a king in KZN who is a Sutu. So for those reasons, correctly so, for those reasons, our historical ties with the Sotos, as South Africans, we consider Sotos as South Africans, regardless of whether they do have a border or they do have their own president or their government or administration. But as the South Africans, we do regard Sotos as part of us. I agree with him on that 100%. I don't have a problem with the Sotos. However, he is inviting the Sotos to join this march. This struggle against immigration. You know. At the same time, he says they are chasing out the Kwerekweres. So look at these guys. I've been critical of people who call people Kwerekweres. I don't like that name, man. Even me, people, they call me Kwerekwere. But I don't take it as an insult. It's just an offensive word. I don't have a problem with it. I live with it. So When this guy was telling the Sotos that they must help them to chase Kwerekweres from this country, it is laughable because these guys, they've been defending these guys calling people Kwerekweres. They said the definition of Kwerekwere is someone who speaks a language that we don't understand. This word is not derogatory, according to them. These denialists, these supporters of these people who are claiming to be fighting against illegal immigration. But we all know that this thing is not about illegal immigration. It's about everyone who is a foreigner, an African foreigner, except these ones who are brave enough to come out to say they will defend themselves. So when Ngizwe said, please, Sotos, help us chase away these Kwerekweres. So one, guys, Ngizwe does not understand Sotho. He speaks isiZulu. The only language that is fluent with Ngizwe is a Zulu language. So in that meeting, Ngizwe was speaking and Tlatlalax was interpreting for Ngizwe. Likewise, the Sotos, some of them, they don't understand this Zulu. So Tlatlalax was an interpreter for what Ngizwe was saying, So this Ngizwe, this intellectual dwarf, claiming to be very smart, to represent the Zulus, to be that powerful, calls other people Kwerekweres, because these Kwerekweres are people who speak the language that it doesn't understand. But guys, Ngizwe doesn't call the Sotos Kwerekweres because by definition, since Ngizwe doesn't understand Sotho, why didn't he say, you guys, you are speaking Kwerekwere, I don't understand you? You see, the definition, it doesn't apply when it comes to the Sotos. You see, but when it comes to other people, when we reprimand them to say, guys, stop calling people Kwerekweres, this word is derogatory. You defenders of this thing, you insult people who reprimand you. You say, no, this word Kwerekwere is not derogatory. It simply means I don't understand your language. So why didn't Ngizwe call Sotos Kwerekweres? You see, this is double standard, man. Unfair application of definition. That's one. Number two, this guy Ngizwe is using, in fact, is regarding our historical ties with the Sotos. Correctly so, because we all know, guys, that we do have a history with the Sotos. We embrace them. We've been living with them. But at the same time, he disregards our historical ties with guys from Zimbabwe and from Mozambique. Those people who calls them Kwerekweres. We all know, guys, the history of Mzilikazi and this guy. Mzilikazi and there's this king, man, that ran away from Ushaka. I don't want to dwell much on that history, on that part of history, guys. But you all know, some of you know this history, man, that as Zulus, we do have historical ties with people from Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Apart from that, there are people who come from Nelspruit to speak Isindebele, and there are people who come from Zimbabwe speaking Isindebele. Also, there are people who come from Mozambique who speak Ishangan, and there are people who come from Limpopo who speak Ishangan. But Ngizwe disregards all of that. Despite all that historical ties, he still regards Zimbabweans and the Mozambicans as foreigners in this country. But the Sotos, no, they are not foreigners. You know why? Because the Sotos, they have balls. They have balls of steel. They could defend themselves. They've shown everyone that they are powerful. By them taking a stand to say they will defend themselves, it shows that these guys, they are powerful. So this coward, Ngizwe, he went there not just to embrace them. He's rubbing shoulders with the Sotos. Now, guys, you supporters of these guys, because this is madness. We've been telling you from day one that this is madness. The cause is legitimate. We support it. We don't condone illegal immigration. But the reason why we don't support these people is because they are, you are being led by madness. You can't be led by madness and expect sanity. Look now, you claim that the Sotos are not immigrants. You state all reasons, correctly so, but you don't use the same application when it comes to Zimbabweans and Mozambicans. Why? So guys, I want to give advice. Any of these guys who come from Limpopo, if you speak Shangan, guys, I give you this advice for free. Please convene a meeting. Call all Shanganese, all people who speak Shangan, whether they come from Mozambique or Limpopo, whether they are legal or not. Convene a meeting. Record that meeting. Want to see it on YouTube, where you declare war. You tell everyone that as Shanganese, no one is going to touch you. You'll defend yourselves on the 30th of June. Likewise, if you are in Ndebele from Nelspruit, please, man, defend your people. Tell everyone that on the 30th of June, you are going to defend yourselves. You're not going to allow these people to brutalize your people, whether they come from Zimbabwe or they are citizens of this country. Because, guys, now we could see that these guys are playing tribal line. It's no longer about illegal immigration. Because if Ngizwe was an honest leader, he was genuine about this thing of illegal immigration that he's been singing. He should have gone there and told Tlatlalax and those Sotos that, guys, here we are not about tribalism. Here we are fighting illegal immigration. On the 30th of June, we expect everyone who doesn't have documents, proper documents, who is illegal or who is legal but is committing crime, to leave this country before the 30th of June. But this lumpen radical Ngizwe, it didn't say that. We all know, guys, that from those Sotos, these people, when they come here, they carry passports according to the law. It disregards all that Ngizwe. Again, we know that there are some people who do have passports, but who are committing crime here, who are coming from Lesotho, who are immigrants. Ngizwe, it turns a blind eye to that fact. The only thing that is concerned about is this historical ties with the Sotos, to say, no, the Sotos are with us. We are together, we are one thing. And we also have a king in KZN that is a Soto. But this guy, he has forgotten that historically we also have Umzilikazi, who was chased by Ushaka, who is coming from Natal, KwaZulu Natal. So what do you call these guys if it's not madness? Tell me. You guys have been defending these things, man. We all know, we saw Phakelumthakathi was having an interview in one of podcasts, I think yesterday, yeah, where he said on the 30th of June, there will be no march. But I don't want to dwell much on that one for now. I just wanted to cover this one of Ngizwe, this confusion. Because I know you've been denying when we tell you that this is madness. So tell me, guys, what do you call this thing? What do you make of what Ngizwe did with the Tlatlalax? Not telling the Sotos that on the 30th of June, their genuine call is to deal with illegal immigration. If you know that you don't have immigration documents, if you didn't come here legally, or you came legally but you are committing crime, on the 30th of June, please leave this country, go fix your documents, and then come back to this country with proper documents. It doesn't say that. You know why? Because this thing is not about illegal immigration, as we've been saying, man. These guys are and by the way, Ngizwe is excited. We all know Ngizwe is that character, man. He's a lumpent, that guy. He's very excited. He enjoys this thing. He enjoys this anarchy and this instability that is being created in this country now. He enjoys it. So you guys, you've been following these guys. These are leaders. How can you be led by madness but expect sanity? It doesn't make sense, man. But maybe for you, it makes sense, guys. Please. Man, I only wanted to give advice to those guys who are coming from Limpopo. Please, man, defend your people. Convene a meeting, call a station commander. Tell everyone that on the 30th of June, you'll defend people who speak Shangani. There's this guy, I think it's King Kayla or Zyla. Yeah. Please, man, convene a meeting. I give you this free advice. Please, my brother, I've been seeing your videos here on social media. You've been consistent on condemning all these things that are done by these people, man. So please, convene your people, man. Group yourself together, guys. Tell everyone. Do the same thing that Untouched did. And we want to see Ngizwe going there. Ngizwe going there to kneel before your people there. If it doesn't do that, Ngizwe will be confirming that he's playing tribal card. He's not genuine about dealing with illegal immigration. Or he will be undermining your people there. It means he's a real coward. He's scared of the Sotos. The reason why he had to attend the meeting with the Sotos and say all the things he said. He even went to extend to he went to the extent to even promise them to slaughter them a cow. Imagine this coward Ngizwe claiming to be representing the Zulus. He went to that extent of promising to slaughter a cow. He wants to embrace these people. He wants to reconcile with them. He apologizes to those who were hurt during July unrest. Imagine. So this thing is about a tribe. Which tribe is powerful? Tlatlalax with his people is very powerful, is untouchable. Whether those people, they engage in zamazamas, they engage in criminality, that is irrelevant. Whether they do have papers or not, it's irrelevant. Because they are powerful. You know. But you guys are quiet about this. I know. Because you've been defending, denying, justifying, finding all reasons. You find all reasons in the book to defend these guys. You know. So please, man. Guys from Nelspruit, stand up. Don't let these people brutalize your people, man. Just convene me, do the same thing. Want to see if Ngizwe will reach out to you to say no. The target is not the Mozambique, the Zimbabweans who are speaking Ndebele. But the target is only, you know, the other people. We want to see. If it doesn't do that, it means he undermines you. You know, this is not genuine. We told you, man. Hence, we will never follow, support this madness. Let me end this video here. Thanks, guys. My name is Mtozis. I'll catch you on the next one, man. I'll catch you on the next one.